nice sky. Hello Year 6, welcome to today's maths lesson. Now yesterday you were looking at converting between different units of measurement like length and capacity and weight and that kind of stuff. But today we're going to be using that to do some estimating and to do some measuring of things. Now I know that not everyone will have all of the measuring equipment that they need. We might have stuff, we might not have stuff, okay? So just try your best. Hopefully we've got a ruler somewhere around the house which might help us. We might have a measuring jug from like some cooking stuff. You might have some kitchen scales, you might have some like weighing scales for like measuring people. You might have, what else do we need? That's if you've got those things, you're laughing, okay? So today, like I say, we are measuring different things. Well, we're estimating them and measuring them, okay? So you're gonna have to think about what unit you're gonna use to measure the things in. And you're gonna set it out in a table that looks something like this, okay? Now you can choose which things you want to measure. I'm looking for about 6. I've obviously come up with 6 here, but you don't have to choose those 6, okay? You can do some different things. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna talk to you about how I would do this for the top 2, okay? So, firstly, let's go to the first one. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna measure is this, okay? It's a water bottle. Now, importantly, I need to decide whether I'm measuring this with the water in or with the water not for the weight, because that will make a big difference. So let's say I measure the length first, okay? So I'm gonna look at this and I need to decide, am I gonna measure it in millimeters, centimeters, meters, or kilometers? Now, I'm not gonna measure it in millimeters, because it would be tons of them, because they're tiny. Centimeters is looking quite sensible. Meters is gonna be quite a lot bigger than it, so I won't use that. Kilometers, oh, that would be just bonkers. So I'm gonna measure it in centimeters. So I think, well, I think a 15 centimeter ruler would get me to about here-ish. So a bit there, I'm gonna say 28 centimeters. Okay, I'm gonna say that's 28 centimeters. So I'll write that in my table here. Then I need to work out measuring the weight of it. I can't remember which order I do it in. We'll do weight. Now, a kilogram is quite heavy, yeah? It's like a big bag of sugar. Now I think that this is probably about a kilogram. Okay, so I'm gonna put that in my table here. Then finally I need to measure the capacity and I need to measure how much water I think can be filled in this. Now if you think about like, you know the small bottles of like Diet Coke you can get, they come in litre bottles. Not the like individual ones and not the big ones, but like there's a middle one. I think so that's a litre. I think this is gonna be about 700 milliliters, okay? 700 milliliters, I'll put that on my table. Now the next thing I need to do is measure it. So to measure this, the best thing I've got to measure it is a ruler, okay? Now, ideally a 30 centimeter ruler would be better, but I've not got one in the house, so I'm gonna have to go with this. So what I do is, I get my measurements, it's hard to see on this one. Have I got another ruler somewhere? Hang on, I thought. No, I've not, right, just have to cope. So, I get my ruler. Now I'm gonna start at the 0 and I count my way up. So make sure I start here. Now it's tricky to be accurate because I'm gonna have to kind of stop part way through. So I think that got me to 15. So I'll go a bit further. And by my reckoning, this is 30 centimeters exactly. So I put that on my table here. So my estimate, did I say 28? I think I said 28, and it's 30. Right, next thing, I need to weigh, well, I'm going to do capacity next, actually. So I said I think it was a litre. Now, did I say a litre? I can't remember what I said. I literally said it 1 minute ago and I can't remember what I said. Did I say 700 millilitres? I can't remember. Anyway, so hopefully you might have a measuring jug. Now, if at any point you've got no way of measuring stuff, then that's okay. Okay, just do the estimation. If you hardly can measure anything, then estimate quite a few more things. Okay, so now in this jug, it goes up, if I look at the measurements, I've got like litres and stuff on this side, and then I've got like pints, so I'm interested in the litres side, okay? So I'm gonna empty it, try not to get it everywhere. And then I'm gonna pour it in. Now obviously, if what you're measuring ended up being more than one full one, you'd have to measure it up to like a litre and then empty it out and then keep going. So if I look in here carefully, now ideally you'd do this like on a flat surface. but I think my measurement, I'm going to put it flat actually so I can measure it carefully. Tell you what, let's grab the phone. You'll hopefully agree with me that that is pretty much bang on 700 millilitres. I was right. I honestly didn't get that first time. So I would write that in the table here. Then, finally, I need to measure the weights. Now this is a really deft way of doing it because I need to put the water back in. Let's hope I don't cover everywhere in water. It shouldn't spill because, yeah, we're good. Okay, so, put that back in. Right, now I need to measure weights. Now I have got some kitchen scales. Some of you might have some kitchen scales, some of you might not. So if you've got kitchen scales, use them. If you've not, you just have to not measure this one, okay? So, I'm gonna turn it off. Turn off kitchen scales. And then turn it on so it's on 0. Put the water bottle on. And now I said a kilogram. It is actually, I don't know if you can see that, 836 grams. So I would put that into my table here. And that is everything done for this first one. Right, we're now gonna do my second thing on the list. Let's go. So the second thing I'm gonna estimate and measure is that. Okay, so, hello Ruben. So first thing I need to think about his height. Now I know that my hip is about 1 meter and I think Ruben's around about that. So I'm gonna estimate that Ruben is 1 meter, okay? Secondly, I'm gonna estimate his weight. Now I need to choose, am I gonna use grams or kilograms? Well, I'm gonna use kilograms. And Ruben, how many kilograms do you think you are?
10.
10, I think you're a little bit more than that. So I'm gonna say,
Maybe 11.
I'm gonna say 25. So I would put those into my table like this, and then I've got my estimates. I can't measure capacity because I can't measure how much you can hold inside of it. So firstly, to measure his length. Now some of you might have a ruler, so you might have to go up the wall a little bit. But what I would suggest is, right, Ruben, put your feet right against the back of the door. That's it, stand up nice and straight. And then, there, right, move away from me. Come away from the door. Right, can you put your finger right where my finger is? Right, don't move it, okay? Keep it there, don't move it. So, now, so you could get a ruler and work your way up. Or, you might have a tape measure or something like that. So I am going to get my tape measure out. And I'm going to measure from the floor up to where his hand was, and then I need to make sure that I do it at the right point. Now that's 1 meter, let's go a bit further. So 1 meter is on that red bit there, and then he is 1 meter and 7 centimeters. Excellent job, Ruth, 1 meter 7. Then secondly, I need to measure his weight. So again, you might have at home some scales like this. So Ruben, stand up. I said 20 something, didn't I? Ruben is in fact 17.8 kilograms. So I would put both of that information in my table like this and move on to the next thing. Thanks, Rubes. So year 6, that's just 2 of them done. Like I've said, you might not have everything you need to measure everything, so just try your best, okay? Try your best. If you can't measure hardly anything, then make sure you estimate lots of stuff and put it in the table still, okay? Work hard. I look forward to seeing your work for this, and this is just a chance for us to, I always think solving problems involving measures is so much easier when you've got a pretty good idea how long something is, or you can estimate how heavy something is, or how much capacity it has, okay? Capacity is all about how much something can hold. Right, year 6, work hard. I'll see you in a bit. Goodbye.